With anime movies such as Chainsaw Man Reze Arc and Demon Slayer Infinity Castle breaking box office numbers last year, anime films have been able to contend with even some of Hollywood's summer blockbusters. But what if I told you that there are a ton of hidden gems that a ton of people pass on, just because they are not a part of the most popular IP or have the most mind-melting animation? Well, in this video, I will be naming off 3 anime movies that you have never heard about. But 3 movies seem like a small list. So, in order to double the amount of entries for this video, I have invited my high school friend and movie reviewer over here on YouTube, JerbloFilms. Thank you for joining me and welcome on in.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. On my channel, I review and analyze movies, and oftentimes I talk about lesser known, artistically driven films and some of the weird corners of cinema, so this is right up my alley.
So in this video, my friend and I will pretty much be listing off 6 anime films that you guys can enjoy that you probably have never heard of. We'll be giving you guys a short synopsis of the video and the movie in general, and the reasons why we personally like it. So if you guys have heard of the films, feel free to recommend it as we go along, or if you guys have any other ones, feel free to leave it down in the comments down below. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with my friend's first pick.
Yeah, so I'll be starting off this list with my favorite movie from my favorite director of all time. Tokyo Godfathers is a 2003 animated film from the director Satoshi Kon. You might know him for his other movies Perfect Blue and Paprika, but this movie tells the story of 3 homeless vagrants in Tokyo who discover this abandoned baby and go on this quest to reunite the baby with his parents. The movie takes place around Christmas time, and it's very much a Christmas movie. It kind of explores ideas of found family, but also kind of talks about the commercialization of religion in Japan. And it's also a movie that critiques a lot of the social structures in Japan and was really ahead of its time, much like the rest of Satoshi Kon's movies. But I also find it to be like a really funny, feel-good movie that has a lot of great character building moments and is one of the films that I make sure to put on every holiday season.
When it comes to Tokyo Godfathers, first of all, I love Satoshi Kon. I was going to put Paprika on this list as well, but Satoshi Kon, like, one of the things that I love about his style that not a lot of people really look at is his editing. His editing has some of the most intricate, free-flowing edits, and honestly, if you guys haven't seen the video by Every Frame a Painting on Satoshi Kon's editing style, I'll link it down below, and that's definitely a really good one to check out. But yeah, Tokyo Godfathers is like a Christmas feels-good film, and I feel like it should be in everybody's rotation along with like Die Hard and Home Alone, you know? So this first pick for mine is actually the reason that really inspired this list and me to bring on my friend in the first place. We're going to be talking about a 2025 film. I know it's like pretty brand new, but honestly, it was swept under the rug ridiculously because of the other 2 movies that we mentioned at the top, which was Reze Arc and Infinity Castle. It was a 2025 film nominee for Anime Film of the Year. That is 100 Meters. Now, I know that a lot of people don't know about this film, but I've been hyped up about this and I'm excited to talk about it. So, Togashi has always been a natural-born sprinter, winning every 100-meter dash with ease all the way back in elementary school. But in 6th grade, a transfer student named Komiya joins his class, and although Komiya lacks form and technique out on the track, his determination to win pushes him to continue running. Togashi takes it upon himself to end up training Komiya to help him improve his running and his running ability. But unbeknownst to him, he's actually training his future rival, who will cross paths with him and challenge him for years to come. For me personally, I love this series only because it's a really good tale about becoming better and improving, and I love career-driven stories in general. So when it came down to 100 meters and you following these sprinters and these athletes who are just trying to become the best that they possibly can, this is like one of those really inspirational stories. And it also talks about like different perspectives. That's something that a lot of people say, oh, do you only play to win? No, there's like a lot of like different layers and elements to it that I greatly enjoy from this. Just a short thing, 100 Meters is actually a one-shot story written by the same guy who made Orb on the Movements of the Earth. So if you guys like that anime and like that same style, it is the same author who made that. It has rotoscope animation style that captures the intensity of the races. They actually had professional runners run for them, and then they were able to animate over them so that they could get the right anatomy and the right speed feel. So that's something that I definitely liked in this film and I enjoyed it. And last but not least, if you guys want to check this out for yourself, it is over on Netflix.
So for the next film pick, I think it's kind of hard to understate just how iconic the music of Daft Punk was, especially in the mid-2000s. With the release of the Discovery album that included songs like One More Time and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, these songs really broke into the mainstream and shaped the culture of a generation. What is much lesser known, however, is that there's an entire movie accompaniment for the film. The movie is called Interstella 5555, and it features 4 alien band members who get kidnapped and brought to Earth by a greedy record executive. They get transformed to look like humans and are made to perform night after night to sold-out audiences while their manager rakes in all the profit. There's something about this film that feels so retro and futuristic to me at the same time. I think it's these sci-fi concepts kind of mixed with the 80s vintage animation style, and in a lot of ways it reminds me of the music of Daft Punk itself, which takes a lot of samples from the 1960s and 1970s but turns them into a sound that sounds futuristic even today. This film has no dialogue, instead playing the entirety of the album as a soundtrack as we see the story unfold. And because of that, I know it probably won't be for everyone, but I find it such a fun experience to just sit back and vibe while taking in the vintage anime art style.
Yeah, when it came to this film in general, the thing that I love about it is, first of all, way ahead of its time. Like, it's doing an anime music video that's not something that's normal, that we haven't seen before. But also, if we think about it, this is like The Shelter before Porter Robinson even had the like concept to do it. And I just love overall the message of it. It's like, you know, music will live on forever and people will try to take advantage of that. It's all a matter of like making sure that people enjoy what you do, you know? This movie really captures that. I love it.
Hello everybody, we're going to be taking a quick break from our discussion with JerbloFilms to kind of give you some time to go ahead and get more popcorn if you guys need it, go refill your slushie, get some candy from the concession stand, and make sure to get me some too, and to also remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are actually enjoying the content here. A lot of you guys may not know, but I actually majored in film and television, and that was actually one of my first passions before I started getting into, you know, all of this. But I do carry over a lot of my favorite stuff, especially from like Tatsuki Fujimoto and Gege Akutami. You could always see these cross references here and there. If you guys actually want to see one of those cross references, we actually have an old video about the Kill Bill fight, Maki Zane versus the Zane clan fight. And just to give you guys something to chat about down in the comments below, let me know what one of your favorite movies is right now. For me personally, I'm enjoying La La Land a lot more recently. It's also because it's like approaching the 10-year anniversary, and I love that movie. I can just sit there and watch, you know, the whole thing with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. It's just a perfect on-screen chemistry, man. And the music is S tier. So yeah, honestly, if you guys have any other films that you guys want me to check out, feel free to leave it down below. But other than that, let's get back to our discussion with JerbloFilms and talk about some more anime movies.
You like jazz? Speaking of B movies, not movies that start with the letter B, I guess. Blue Giant is the next movie that I have here on this list, and it's pretty quick for me to like wrap this up, and hopefully this will get your attention real quick. So this movie follows a college student named Dai Miyamoto, a saxophonist from Sendai who moves to Tokyo in order to pursue his dream of becoming the greatest player in the world, and ending up playing at the Blue Note Jazz Club in Tokyo. Joined by Yukinori Sawada, a classically trained pianist, and Shunji Tamada, an amateur drummer, can this trio of musicians climb their way through the brutal and unforgiving world of jazz. So this movie honestly takes place over the second arc of the manga, which is also titled Blue Giant. So there's honestly more even before the movie, and even more, like a ridiculous amount more after the movie. So this is a perfect taste of like kind of getting into the world of Blue Giant. Parts of the CGI, I will not lie, do take you out of it. It is a little jarring, but honestly, as you stay in it and you're in it for the music and the passion of the characters, it ends up carrying you through the entire movie. And some of the graphics are insane, especially during the final performance. It hits you in like your heartstrings. There's good emotion and everything is put together, and I love that. So if you guys want to check out Blue Giant, that is going to be over on Netflix as well, I believe in the US, but other places we don't know quite yet. But yeah, Blue Giant. If you like jazz, check it out.
So to round off my list, I'm picking the movie Tekkonkinkreet, released in 2006. This movie follows the story of two orphans, black and white, who live in a futuristic Tokyo slum called Treasure Town that they call home. The town is under threat when Yakuza members arrive and plan to demolish the town and replace it with a kids theme park. Now, I will admit, I think the story does suffer pacing-wise because it's trying to adapt a much longer manga, but I think the thing that really stands out to me about this film is the visuals. A lot of the key animation frames and character movements were were meticulously drawn by hand, and the backgrounds are super rich in detail and have this kind of mix of grunge and cyberpunk aesthetics, as well as this cityscape that was inspired by like Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Sri Lanka, just to name a few, but like a bunch of different places in Asia, and it kind of gives it this multicultural, like Babylon of Asia type feeling. So a lot of these frames have such a maddening amount of detail that's done painstakingly by hand, and I think the quality really shows. I almost feel bad for blinking while watching this movie because I know I just missed like an entire week of work from some poor underpaid animator. But yeah, that rounds off my list.
So if we started off this list with a winter kind of a Christmas movie with Tokyo Godfathers, I'm gonna end it with my go-to summer movie. So honestly, for me, I do need a rom-com on this list. A lot of the stuff that we have covered is like really like deep grunge, like stuff like that. Oh, I'm gonna throw in a romance because you know, we kind of need one. So my final pick is going to be Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop from 2021. In a cool mall during a blazing summer in Japan, a quiet boy who expresses himself through haikus online and a self-conscious social media influencer cross paths after they accidentally swap phones. This unlikely connection turns a one-time moment into a fleeting and unforgettable summer. I'm gonna try not to spoil a lot of like the little intricate details, but I will be giving you guys a little bit of like heads up of why I like this film. So the first thing that I like about this film is that it's directed by Kohei Ishiguro, who is the guy who's behind Your Lie in April and Psychopaths, two amazing stories that have to do with kind of the human psyche and trying to figure out like what exactly is going on up here and making it good. And also Your Lie in April, obviously it's not the same ending, don't worry, this is a feels good movie, but it does capture that romantic feel. The second thing that I like about this film is that it has a lot of vivid colors. It makes you feel like it's almost like a block sketch movie, and it looks really cool. I love the vibes of it, and it does give this refreshing feel during a blazing summer, and a lot of the colors are very saturated and it's very fun to look at. Overall, this movie tackles themes of confidence and comfortability, and overall has a little bit of romance sprinkled in there. It's not like the overarching thing, but it's nice to have that as almost like a subplot compared to like just regular everyday activities that happen in the summer. If you guys do want to check out this film, once again, this is also on Netflix. I feel like every single film that I touched on has been available on Netflix. So that is going to wrap it up for 6 anime films that you have never heard of. Once again, I am joined by my friend over here and me. Is there anything that you want to say before we go ahead and close this out?
Yeah, just thanks for having me. This was super fun to make, and I hope people get something out of this video. And you know, if you guys have anime movies that you think we haven't heard of that you want to recommend, please drop it in the comments too.
Yeah, for sure. And if we end up liking that, and if you guys do like this style of list as well, feel free to first of all subscribe to Jerblo. He has a lot of really cool videos on like movies that you've probably never heard of, I've never even heard of, and he does a really good job of just breaking that down. But also, if you guys do enjoy this, we could always bring him back. We could always do another one, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyways, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to read more manga. We'll see you guys on the next one.